Boom. All right. Hey, super excited to see everybody. Welcome to tonight's session. If you give me a big boom in the chat bar, hey, if your camera's not on, I'd love for you to turn on your camera. It definitely makes a lot more fun for me if I could see you and you could see me. It makes it a great evening together here. And I want to set a little stage for you guys. Well, first off, why don't you type in where are you from and what do you do for a living? Are you an executive? Do you career? Are you a business owner? And of what? And put it in the chat bar. Hey, Gene, super nice to see you. Let me see. Ryan in the house. Dalton, what's going on? Matt, what's up? Jason. All right. Hey, Quincy, Lisa. A lot of you on the road, but not wanting to miss this. Look like Chris and Kelly. Hey, nice to see you guys. Chad, what's going on? Tim DeHart, and I'm sure we'll have a bunch of you jumping in here. So super excited. Let's see what we got in Minnesota. Yep, electrical service. We got people from all over here. Well, when I was thinking about doing this session called Sales Rewired, I want to make sure that we leave today with some clear action items. And if you've been in my world, is anybody new to my world? Type in new if you're new. And if you're not new, how long have you been in my world? Is it my wife's going to win, just so you know, because my beautiful wife, Jennifer, our video, we actually got to change it because it says for almost 4 decades, but it's 4 decades this year. So it's my beautiful wife and I have been together for 40 years since we're 15 years old. And so that's super exciting for us. And let's see who's new. Hey, Mike, welcome to our world. You got a great name, Mike. It's one of my favorite names also. Dalton, Daryl, glad you guys are here. Unlike a lot of workshops or little trainings, in the next 60 minutes, I have to give some foundational stuff. And those of you that been in my world for a while, can you just give me a boom if it's okay if I give a little foundational stuff about me? Because the new people, I don't know about you, when I'm new and I jump on a training, I'm like, what's this? Who's this? Is he going to just be sitting there, show me his 6-pack, and does he want to just show off his damn Lamborghini or whatever? And so I know new people, the only reason they're going to stay here is because, one, I got to build at least a little bit of credibility and authority, because why would you even listen to me, right? Why would you show up? And the reason why I called it Sales Rewired is because not only, and let me grab, if it's cool with you, I'll do a little show and tell just to maybe, for a little bit of a credibility here. Where I really started to figure out sales was here. Even though I started my business when I was 22, and I think I saw some electricians or tradespeople here. At 22, I started my electrical contracting business. And if any of you are blue collar, type in maybe blue collar proud. And if you're white collar, say what's up or something in there, because you should be proud too. And when you're running a little company, like, sales is important, but man, when you're running a big company, it's mandatory, right? You have to do it. And I was telling someone the other day, like, when you have a, 50,000 in payroll, like, that's a pretty scary thing. When you have over $1 million in payroll, like, it's a big deal, right? You can't just say, oh, I have no money, because, I had 200 employees. And here's a little picture for you guys. Now, I sold this company in 2017, but, we did 32 million a year, not 32 million, like 2 million plus 5 million plus 8 million, not that game that people play today. One time somebody told me, yeah, I did $20 million. And I was like, oh, really? Like, wow, that's impressive. How'd you do that? Well, 1 year I did 5 million and 1 year, 3 million. No, this here was a $32 million company and was tracking for 40 million. And I sold it in 2017, not because I didn't love it, because I sold myself into a bigger future. But when you have a couple hundred employees and you have 165 trucks, okay? That's how many vehicles we owned, 165. Is anybody from New Jersey? Because I didn't get to keep up. Type in New Jersey. You know, these trucks are all over the state of New Jersey. So sales was really important. But I want to give you something to write down, because if you're expecting me to be one of those full of hot air and give you the best objection handling strategy, I'm just going to tell you that's not what I'm going to give you tonight, because that's baby food. And if I curse a little bit, is anybody going to be offended, or can you give me permission to curse? If you don't like curse words, just pray for me later tonight. I promise you, I'm perfectly fine with myself. But I'm not going to give you baby food shit here. I'm just not going to give it like, oh, well, when a customer says that, or hand them the pen. And I think a lot of the world today is giving baby food sales strategies, when really what you need is not a new tactic. You need a new way of thinking. And when I look at what takes a company from under $1 million to 32 million, which I think was, I mean, it was pretty impressive back then. I don't think it's impressive today at all, because, you know, back then you had to do like yellow pages and stuff, and you only had to be brave enough. Did anybody ever do yellow pages? Type in yellow page. Like, the bravest person to spend the money made the money. That's the deal, right? When you do $1 million in yellow page advertisement, well, it's easier to win. But today, it's really easy to win when you figure it out, because while you're listening to me, you could just put a message out and someone buys it on Facebook. I mean, you could do pretty much like unlimited messages on Facebook and people see you. But I really mastered sales then, but I really understood sales and human behavior at this moment in my life. In this moment, I built an organization. If anybody knows the organization, give me a boom in the chat bar. In 2014, I was so pissed off at the industry, because I was tired of all what I call like full of hot air blowhards, right? All these coaches out there in their suit and ties telling everybody what they did 50 years ago in their company and how they ran their warehouse and all this crap, right? And I said to myself, like, well, why the hell's the industry suffering if you've been doing it for 50 years? And in 2014, for those of you new to my world, I stepped in and I said, I'm going to create a movement. I'm not just going to teach. I'm going to change the way the blue collar industry functions, thinks, works, shows up. And if any of you have been in my world a while and you think I've done that, can you give me a done that in the chat bar for me? I know I did it, because in a 5-year period, I trained over 20,000 people came through my trainings. I did 35 3-day trainings a year. I bet some of you on here been through it. And I still believe yet to today, nobody's been able to put on a transformational training like us, because we don't work in motivation. We work in permanent transformation. But when you have 20,000 people come through your training and you train 1,000 business owners, you start to notice that there's patterns and habits and behaviors and cycles that allows some people to win, and it allows other people to lose. And I sold this company in 2020, not because I didn't love it. I did the job I needed to do, and COVID came in, and humanity needed me now to change the world, because I made a lot of people really wealthy. And if you guys know anybody that I've made a deca millionaire, or at least played a part, I didn't do it for them, I just guided them. If you know anybody that I guided to become legacy wealthy, just type in legacy, because I've done that over and over. Matter of fact, in less than 4 years, over 100 people have exited their company and become, 90% of them become deca millionaires, and now they live what we call life, business, wealth by design. I'm not saying that to brag to you. I'm saying it to make a point, because if I don't make a point, well, why are you even going to listen to what I have to say about sales? after I went through and sold the second company, and in 2020, we started Food Dog Group, which is life, business, and wealth by design, because we learned that if you focus, has anybody, and you don't have to say it in the chat bar, did anybody ever focus so much on business one day you woke up and you're like, your wife doesn't like you no more and your kids don't know you? You don't have to admit it in the chat bar. I see the expressions, right? And that doesn't work really well, at least not long term. And my wife and I and my business partner, Aaron, who's on here, we have a whole team on here with us tonight. My son is one of our top coaches, the leader of coaching multiple Deca millionaires, and Morgan and Megan team. Say hello in the chat bar. And when you look at this, things that were happening with everybody, I went back after I sold that and said, well, if we could improve everybody's life and change their thinking, and we could improve the way they learn about sales, operations, systems, marketing, operational excellence, and then they could understand wealth, we can create what we call the pinnacles. We could create this pinnacles, and everything will change. Your age will start to reverse. Your relationship, you don't go 40 years. My wife and I are 40 years together. You don't do that because you didn't figure some shit out. You do it because you learned how to grow in different areas. Hey, Keaton, welcome. Anybody else who just joined, welcome. So who's this training really a fit for? Well, first off, it's a fit for any business owner, but even if you're not a business owner, you're going to pick up something. If you want more wealth, and you want to live happier, and I want you to write a word down, and you want eventually financial peace. Can you write that down? You don't want financial freedom, right? A lot of people think they have financial freedom and it's just a different looking jail cell. You want financial peace, right? Which is abundance with harmony, So if you are a business owner, this is really going to help you what I'm going to cover with you. And if you're a founder and tired of this duct tape sales tactics and this, you should be able to go to sleep without worrying about you're going to show up on Channel 7 News. And I'm proud to say, I mean, look, I would tell you the type of service company I ran. I mean, we sold a $6,000 toilet bowl, and I would call us up the top of the food chain of what we did. Because look, if you're going to have 165 trucks on the road and probably, I don't know, 100 of them are damn near Mercedes-Benz Sprinters and stuff, well, you have to charge the right price. I'm also not that guy that's going to tell you, you need to make more money, just raise your price, because that's a good way to get your ass on Channel 7 News, right? Having an inflated price without justification of it. Or teaching people, having a culture of sell and you must sell and upsell and blah, blah, blah. And what I want to tell you is, at least share with you, there's a way to create abundance through sales without feeling dirty. And tell me, have any of you, not you, but have you ever noticed anybody else out there, industries, and it just feels dirty? Type in dirty in the chat bar. And that's what was making me come and say, you know what, let's do something on Sales Rewired here. This will also help you with your sales teams, because in your teams and your culture, to be upfront with you, what I learned going through 1,000 business owners is, first off, business owners just don't understand the psychology of selling because they don't even understand themselves, They don't even understand themselves. And if you don't understand yourself, well, how the hell are you even going to understand others? And answer this for me. Do you think the way that people buy has changed? Tell me in the chat bar, type in changed. Do you think it's changed in the last 30 days? Hell yeah, it has. It's been changing like this for a half a decade. Now, pre-COVID, everybody was pretty brilliant, weren't they? I mean, you could pretty much suck at what you do and make a lot of money pre-COVID. During COVID, If you were really good, you still made abundance. I had the privilege and the honor of navigating close to 1,000 businesses through COVID. I don't know, was anybody in my world during COVID? Type in COVID. And where the industry was down, at least my industry was down by 20, 30%. The average person in my world was up by 200, 300, 400, 500%. Well, why? Because we understood humans. And if you want to write something down that I don't see a lot of people talk about, is that sales is a human process. It's a human process. Also, if you're a leader that's on here, this training is definitely going to help you. This is who it's not going to be for. If you're somebody who's just about close the customer, I need to get them to buy, and you're into hardcore closing and whatever you do, you lead with a sledgehammer and you love doing that, I would just say, I appreciate you. You should get off this training now because I'm not going to teach you that stuff. It's not our game. We believe in a high level of integrity. The other thing is, this is not industry specific. I used to be a best practice person. A best practice person is someone who specializes in just one industry. And that's good. There's a lot of them out there. I like to think of them as one-trick ponies. They understand how to sell plumbing services, which I've done over 10 million a year in plumbing, or HVAC, and I sold over 19 million in Lennox equipment, or, maybe the pest control or basement waterproofing. And, I was considered one of the top, and I would put myself probably up there still. But now what I've learned is we work with over 120 different industries, from people that sell nutrition products to insurance products. It doesn't matter if they're selling cybersecurity or they're AI, selling AI tools, or marketing or coaching or anything. And we found out that when you understand the psychology of the sales process, it applies equally. It applies equally across many different industries. Now, if you're looking for some robotic script of some kind, which I respect AI, and if you've been playing with AI, type in AI in the chat bar. I know so many people, they're just drooling before they go to bed. They're licking ChatGPT on their cell phone. But the other thing is, just to put an awakening you might want to write down, is the most valuable thing is people are still craving. They're craving human to human connection. And if you're like me and you watch cycles and trends and patterns and behaviors and habits, you know that when the cell phone came out, we got less close connection and further connection because I could just call you. And how many of you, give me a hand up if you have children. Who has children? Okay. So those of you with children, how many of you text your kid and they're right in the other damn room? Raise your hand. Just me? Okay. A couple of you honest people. Thank you, right? Some of you are old school. Any Italians here? Type in Italian in the chat bar. Yeah. You don't even, right, Sam? You don't do the texting shit. Old school Italian. Hey, come over here, right? We just yell, get the hell over here. Don't make me do that cell phone shit to talk to you. You come in here, look at me in the eye, right? So some of you can relate to that. And some of you are like, what do you mean? Why would you get off your ass? Just text them on the cell phone. But the one point I want to make about sales today is the deeper, the quicker the connection you can make with people, real connection. Someone said to me just yesterday, because we work with a lot of high-level people today and some smaller companies too to help them scale. They said, how do I do better if you were to give me one thing? And I said, well, just connect and connect in a stronger way with people. Stop looking at them as part of your payroll and start looking at them as people you care about and that you want to serve with whatever you serve with. So look, I want to share, and I got a bunch of strategies I'm going to go through, and I'd love for you as I share, hey, Rodney, nice to see you. As I share a strategy, Andrew, and it resonates with you, type in the chat bar so I know it's resonating. But after doing now, and this is combined, over 500 million in revenue myself, selling over 2 high 8-figure companies with world-class exits in the last 6 years, training over 20,000 people and 1,000 business owners, and serving 34,000 customers a year, I want to give you what at least I feel is the top things, some of the top things. And I want to start that out with you with a little bit of let's kind of survey ourselves and do a little self-ranking here. And there's no right or wrong. And look, I don't care if you're doing $1 billion now or $1. If you came here to be impressed about yourself, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with myself. And if you came here because you got your ass kicked last week in sales, well, that's okay. You're welcome here too. We're all going to be here and learn together. So I want you to rate this from 1 to 5. 5 being the very, very best. Okay, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. And now I don't want you to go gut check. I want you to just spend a second and think before you put the answer in the chat bar. Now, before I give you the first question, I'm going to share with you something I tripped across, because I'm a guy that has helped a lot of people through trauma and resistance, because how do you create more wealth and abundance? Well, you have to remove the resistance that you've been trained with, and you have to get rid of these things like, the economy's bad and the stock market. And how many of you type in 2008 if you lived through 2008 or you were a business owner in 2008? Yeah, so in 2008, that created for people what I would call a little bit of sales trauma. You were maybe feeling really, really good, and all of a sudden, within a short period of time, you might have been feeling really, really shitty. And if you could relate, type in relate, because it was like the octagon. Do you know UFC? Anybody watch UFC? Give me a hand up. Any UFC people? Yeah. So 2008 felt like the UFC, except you didn't get to train for it. So the fact that you wrestled, do I have any martial artists on here? Type in martial artist on here. I'm a martial artist of it's going to be over 40 years now. But, the fact that you wrestled when you were 10 years old, well, in 2008, when you went in the octagon, you weren't prepared for it. So you had to survive. And what that built was, for a lot of people, was trauma. No different than a relationship. You get divorced, and all of a sudden you have divorce trauma. Someone told me, yeah, well, I was divorced and it was miserable, and that's why I'm not successful. And I said, oh my goodness, it sounded like it was yesterday. I said, wow, that sounds horrible. When was it? He goes, 30 years ago. I said, holy shit, 30 years ago? You're still suffering 30 years later? Are you still paying her? He's like, no, I haven't paid her for 15 years. But it doesn't matter, because it's still inside that person's mind as trauma. Let me give you one more before I ask you the questions. And you could say to yourself, do you have anything inside your mind that's keeping you back from the very next level? How many of you, when you were a kid, you had a lemonade stand? Type in lemonade stand. Did you try to sell something, or maybe Boy Scout cookies or Girl Scout cookies, right? Hey, Logan, nice to see you. Karen. And you had the lemonade stand, and you spent time, and you made the poster with your mom, and you went and got, what the hell was back then? Does anybody even drink Crystal Light or anything back then, right? You took packets of Crystal Light in a big container, and maybe people came, they drove by, and you yelled what? Lemonade, lemonade. And the car went zoom. And thank God for those couple neighbors that came over and gave you $5 for lemonade, because if you didn't make $1, not only did you have sales trauma, you probably took on the first identity of depression or something, because you were like, I'm a failure. I asked for something and they said no. And now you grow up not asking. So the first thing, 1 to 5, 5 being, yeah, I'm very, very good, and 1 being, no, I'm not good. How would you rate yourself on sales trauma? Would you say 5, I have a lot of sales trauma, or 1, I have no sales trauma, Mike? All right, so we got a 4. Thanks for your honesty, everybody. And what about this? If you look at 5, and all of this applies to sales, if this is broken, I'll give you one of my pet peeves. Someone says to me, yeah, I got a sales trainer coming out to my company. And I go, oh, that's great. Sales trainers are great. When do they come? And they say, oh, they're going to show up Tuesday. And I said, well, what questions did they ask you? And they said, well, they asked me about, my conversion, and they asked me about my average, and they asked me about, what kind of service do you deliver? And I said, anything else? They said no. And I said, hang on a minute. Did they ask you about your marketing? They said, no. Why would they ask me about my marketing? I said, because your marketing is the first step into the sales process. Now, when we say marketing, let me be clear. I know a lot of people think Facebook ads and pay-per-click and magazine and billboard and TV. And I did all of it. I've done radio, I've done TV. I had over 1,000 billboards in the state of New Jersey. No exaggeration, 1,000 of them. And I did 2.4 million a year. Matter of fact, I thought I could outmarket the Obama election. Never try to do that shit, everybody, because you ain't going to outmarket no election, no matter how much money you throw at it. And then what happened, what I noticed was they had people coming to teach something to fix something that really wasn't the problem. I mean, if you fish with guppy bait and you catch guppies, you're probably not going to catch whales with guppy bait. You're going to catch little guppy fish. So if your customer is a Walmart customer you're attracting, and I'm not against Walmart, I bought stuff there, but if you're attracting someone who buys at the flea market and you're trying to sell them the very best mattress or service, you could see how this is not a fit. Does this make sense? Type in "makes sense" in the chat bar. So my next survey question for you is this. Do you, level 5, you have such a sharp marketing cycle. It's clear on exactly the sales process, from the emotional to the subconscious state to the conscious state to every part of it. And one being, Mike, I hate pay-per-click and I'm pissed off at my agency. How do you rate yourself? How do you rate yourself? 5? I'm so clear on the marketing. It starts the sales process. And if you're a 5, you got money falling from the sky. And if you're a 1, I know why the hell you're here, because you go to bed at night and you're pissed the hell off because you're saying, I hope any of you knew you probably got a flare for me. And if you're still on, you'll probably stay on till we're done. And if you don't love my intensity, well, I don't get neutered along the way. So you probably should bounce now. But if you look at this, how many of you are so pissed off at spending money on marketing and not getting the damn results you need? Tell me in the chat bar, and tell me any way you want to check. You don't have to sugarcoat shit in my world, because I show up as my true skin. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't show up with a suit on and try to make you think I'm something I'm not. Which, by the way, if you have tattoos, can you type in tattoo in the chat bar? I always love the survey, because I think, oh, there you go, Ryan. Ryan's got a few. And if you don't have tattoos, just type in "not yet," because you still have some time. No. Don't let me get tattooed and then your mom's sending me some pissed off message. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one, number 5, you have a very clear sales offer structure. Okay, you understand where the process starts. You know the before, the during, the after. You know the beginning, the middle, the end. You know how people feel and think before, when you pick up the phone or they send you a text and a chat. At a level 5, you can predict exactly what they're going to do. And 1, Mike, I hope for the best. I hope they're nice. I hope they respond good. I hope they answer good. Where are you? All right. Are you guys seeing that you might type in dollar signs if you're seeing you might be losing a lot of money? And if you figure this out, or I should say, when you figure this out, this is exactly how you go from, now, some of you are like this. Someone told me one time, they said this to me. They said, Mike, money, they said it just like that, but this is my fun voice. Mike, money's not everything. That's what they told me. And I looked straight at him, and you know what I said? You know what I said to him? I said this to him, Lisa. I said, perfectly well said from a broke ass individual. Now, money may not be everything, but I'm going to tell you what, when your kids need new teeth, or they need, braces, or they hurt something and insurance don't cover it, or your mom needs help with something, and your roof is bad and you need a new furnace, or you just want a little more comfort and go on vacation, I only know how to do that one way, with money or debt, right? I mean, do you guys have any other way? It's either a credit card that you can pay off, or a credit card that you may never pay off. And I don't like to see people suffer. I know I'm on this planet to create impact. And again, I'm going to share information, not to brag to you, but if you just knew the land of possibility, and if you look at me by the end of this and you go, if fucking Mike can do it, why can't I? And you're absolutely right. My wife and I have been debt-free since we're 28 years old. We haven't had a mortgage since we're 28, and I'm going to be level 55 on May 29th, which you should keep an eye on that, not to send me a gift, because I'm going to send you gifts when it gets around my birthday. I'm building some amazing free birthday gifts. Are you okay if I give you a birthday gift? Type in birthday in the chat bar. We're going to give you all kinds of resources and tools and stuff, because I believe every year it's my birthday, give back to you. I don't need anything from you. I'm just thankful that you're on here to learn. So let's do one more poll, and then I'm going to dig into some tactical strategies. Let's look at our team, if you have a team, and let's put a team, a high-functioning team that understands high-level integrity sales, understands the process of over-delivering. 5, if they're a level 5, they have an ownership. You know what ownership means on the team? They're asking you, did we make all the money the company needs so everybody can be paid and we have a big, handsome profit? And 1 being, what time is it? I did the best I can and I have to leave and go home. How do you rate your culture? 5, hey, boss, did we get it all done? Because I'm not going home till we're done. And 1, hey, boss, I got to leave. It's 4 o'clock. Where are you at? Oh, so we got some pretty good numbers here. And I'll tell you, if you're at a 4 and above, I'm glad you're here, because you're already making a lot of money, so you can invest it. If you're below a 4, well, I got news for you. We better talk about strategies right now, and we better get some shit done here. Okay, let's get some stuff done. Now, before I give you strategy number 1 here, I would love for you to just type in, look at your notes real quick, and write down something that resonated for you. Was it financial peace? Was it, oh my goodness, my marketing person is getting me leads or not, but they're not asking me what part of the sales process does this start? And your marketing person should be like, hey, what's the whole sales process look like? Because otherwise, whatever they do gives you garbage. You can't do nothing with it because it doesn't fit the next puzzle. The same thing with the sales. And I know people that follow me, you probably have maybe a coach or a trainer or a mentor or a consultant. Well, if they're not examining and they don't go like this, hey, here is your complete sales cycle in detail on exactly what should be happening, could be happening, will be happening. And this step to this step, this is what it creates emotionally, this is the results it creates, then you better call them and say, get your ass in gear because you're letting me down, or you better find a place to learn it. Because there's three important things, and these are the same three things I've been telling my kids since they're born. And I'm going to give you the three, because if you nail these three, you create abundance in every area. Number one, leadership. Write it down, everybody. Leadership. Okay. Well, you're the leader. So if you're not happy with the results, I don't know why you're mad at your people or mad at your agency. You got to be a little pissed off at yourself, but not pissed off for long. Only stay pissed off until you say, I got to make a new decision. And then don't be pissed off no more. Okay. Number two, marketing. Now, my one friend says marketing is everything and everything is marketing. Did anybody do marketing power training with us? Type in marketing power. If you did, I will tell you it was the highest level marketing training on the planet. And I put myself, because I've spent time on stage with the top marketers and been on with guys like Jay Abraham, highest paid consultant on earth, and all the top marketers I've been on with. And if you didn't do that, then guess what? Marketing's number two. You better not learn it, master it. Because if you're illiterate to it, you're a slave. Now, I'm not telling you to go to get a bachelor's in marketing. I'm telling you, get it from someone who's an expert, learn it so you're not a slave to it. So you're not like, get it. How many of you are getting sold? Well, you got so many clicks. Write the word click in. And I don't know, is there a middle finger emoji or something? Like put clicks and put the middle finger in the chat bar. Isn't that how you feel? Because I'm telling years ago, a decade and a half ago, they're saying, well, I got you clicks and people, they said they like you. And I'm like, yeah, but Jason, right? I'm like, but my bank account says I'm paying money out, but I'm not getting money in. And I told one guy one time, I said, F you and your clicks, because I need money, not clicks. So we have leadership in marketing. The third one, sales. You have to understand the art of communication. High level, high integrity, high value communication. If you're trying to convince people to buy, you're not an expert at communication. You're just a puppet using trickery. And I don't believe trickery. I don't know anybody with trickery that's built big companies. And I'm not telling you to build a big company. The fact is, how many of you are the best in the world at what you do? Go ahead, brag. Type in best in the chat bar. It's okay. Let the ego out a little bit. It's healthy to let it out, right? Go ahead. All right. Thank you, Anthony Foster. Yes, you are. There you go. I got some of the fucking best. I love it, Andrew. So here's a byproduct of being the very best. Someone told me, they said, Mike, I've been struggling to break $1 million a year for 5 years. And I said, well, here's the moment, everybody. This is what I said to him, Quincy. This is the moment you either love me or you hate me. Are you ready for it? He said, yeah. I said, you suck at what you do. And he went, you don't even know me. I said, I don't know you enough yet, but entertain my conversation for a minute. And in the end, if you don't like it, curse me out and I'll walk away. We're not going to, you probably don't want a fist fight, right? I mean, it's 40 years in martial arts. I've learned a few things, training with knives and training with SEAL Team 6 type military. Do you have any military type in military guys? I've trained with some of the top operators in the world, so we're not going to duke it out. Just tell me F off and I'll go away. Here's the deal. If you're the best in the world and you deliver the best service with the best product at the best time, a byproduct is you get more referrals and more business, and you're going to grow year after year after year. Does anybody want to disagree with me? I'm all about disagreeing tonight, but tell me, if you're the best in the world, people brag about you, and the more they brag, the more other people find you, the more other people find you, the more they buy from you. And when it comes from a referral, tell me in the chat bar, is it a quicker buyer or a slower buyer? When it's a referral, they go like this. I need this done. You go, this is what you need done. Here's the cost. You sign the check. You give a credit card, right? So this is what I want to talk about. So you wrote it down, right? You need leadership. You need marketing, sales. You master these three things. with a high level of integrity, and you're going to change the game. The other day, I got three calls from three different people on Monday, which made me wonder why they didn't call me on the weekend. Three different people, because I get Facebook messages, after doing this 2 decades and writing, what did I write? 28 books now, and God knows how many podcasts and YouTube. Any of you, are you seeing my little Instagram videos? Type in videos if you've been seeing a lot of my videos, because I'm really, really working hard to serve people. And on Monday, 3 people called, and all 3 of them had the same type of problems, Anthony. They said, I don't have enough leads, I'm not making enough sales, and I don't have enough money. And I just say, listen, like, first off, you can't, write this down, you can't build new skill sets on top of your old thinking. You can't. Every one of you that's on here, I guarantee you've attended a million trainings. If you have not made the improvement you want, you're trying to stack wisdom on top of trauma. Trauma's like quicksand. It falls in, boom, disappears. You don't move forward. So all these people, I said, well, first off, you clearly, if you understood the art of sales, you can produce as much cash as you want at will. And if you can't produce, if you don't know sales, you're going to always have a cycle of an issue, because when a tariff comes out and people close their wallet, you say people aren't spending money. I say, no, you suck at understanding people. Another one of those hashtag moments, either hashtag love me. Would you guys, like, can you put hashtag real? Would you rather me be real with you? Or do you want me to, like, I'll just watch everything I say so you could sing Kumbaya with me? I refuse to do that. I'm going to give you my real self so that you could have breakthroughs and go, maybe tonight, maybe Mike's making sense. And then I say, look, just do this. Show up to the sales training. Because if you don't know how to sell, how are you ever going to fix it? And I get the same stuff all the time. Well, I can't, Mike, because I'm going on a trip. I go, okay, but when you come back, will you have more money or less money? Oh no, this vacation's been booked. I hear it all the time. I'm like, okay, so you'll come back, and when you come back, you'll tell me you have more problems. And now what do you want me to do? How do I solve your more problems? You need, my wife and I probably, I don't know, many years ago, I shared with her, like, and her dad and my dad were very hardworking men. So she shared with me that my model of being a man was the only thing she really knew, because her dad and my dad, who had a very hardworking dad, type in hardworking dad, and her dad's still around. My dad passed a couple of years ago now. And I said, look, when we focus and we learn, and we've been growing together, learning shit. We were just we ran 2 relationship trainings in the last month. Anybody come to the relationship training? Type in the chat bar how it was. And me and my wife did a relationship training with somebody. And I said, if we work really hard and learn a lot, there will be a day that life will be by design. We won't have to worry about money. Me and my wife, normally every day, our biggest thing to figure out is what the hell damn day it is, because we never know if it's Saturday or Tuesday, because we don't go, thank God it's Friday, because we suffered all week. And we don't go, it's Sunday, we don't do anything. We serve every single day of the week. Let's get into a strategy here. Number 1 strategy is this, and I want you to write it as an action item if it's with me or someone else. You got to remove the hidden sales trauma. It doesn't disappear. It lives within your nervous system. If your parents ever told you this, and you tell me in the chat bar, if your parents ever told you, William, money is evil, money is dirty, money doesn't grow on trees, go wash your hands after you counted your money, Tooth Fairy gave you money, go wash, birthday money, go wash your hands, money's dirty. Have any of you ever been told any of that? Tell me in the chat bar. If you have hidden sales trauma. How many of you have spent a lot of money on marketing, you did not get a return, and you are scared shit about spending money on marketing? Tell me in the chat bar. Type in marketing, right? You got marketing trauma. How many of you have invested in things You went to a big training, 1,000 people. You clapped your ass off. You went back Monday, nothing fixed itself. You were motivated for 3 days and you had no more strategies, no more skills. Those of you coming, and if you can't make it to Sales Power, we got some other stuff coming up. We'll share it with you. Do any of you live, any of you who signed up for SOP Power? SOP, hands up. I got some. Who doesn't know what SOP Power is? Put a question mark if you don't know what it is. Okay, some of you don't know. Is it okay if I share it real quick? Because part of SOP Power will solve your trauma and it's virtual. Put the date in, team. Coming up in a couple weeks, we're doing a virtual training. It's called SOP Power. It starts at 9:30 in the morning Eastern. It ends at 6. I'm going to give you everything we know about creating sustainable processes and systems. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you a bunch of the processes and systems we use today. Now, I made that training special for 2 things. Special number 1, bring someone from your team on it. Bring up to 3 people and get them on damn near Zoom and tell your team you're going to spend all day on this training. And when we leave, we're going to optimize this business to run like a machine. Because what I learned, everybody, is when I ran Gold Medal, I had it run for 5 years. I had no office in the building. And it ran for 5 years without me being a slave. And how many of you would love that? Give me a boom in the chat bar. Would you love to go away and not worry about your business? Matter of fact, would you love to go away and when you come back, you made so much more money that the team says, leave, Jim, don't even come back. Just call at the end of the day. We'll tell you how much money we made. Now, I wanted to make this training such a ridiculous price that if you said no to it, if you're suffering, I guess you enjoy NyQuil spoonful of suffering. The training was going for $699. And here's the deal. I made it for $499. Now, I hope you guys think that, shit, after doing 500 million at this stage of my life, I would like to think you think my time's worth more than $499. But I am tired of people suffering, and I'm willing to do it. So if you're interested in doing SOP Power, if you want Sales Power next week, I'll give you a package. I'll finance the shit for you. I don't want money to be the problem. Time, if you're a slave to go into things, I can't stop that. But if you're willing to come, I'll finance it myself to make sure that you don't suffer. If you want SOP Power, just either type in SOP. It's $499. And guess what? I'll give you the damn recording. So if you can't show up all day because you got to go to a job, you'll get the recording for it. So if you want that, you'll let my team know. But that's not even what I wanted to talk to you about. Anybody live near Nashville? Anybody live near Nashville? Type in Nashville. If not, I guess F Nashville. If no one lives there, it won't. Okay, you're not close there. We have a free 1 day in Nashville. It's not important enough because nobody on here. So let's get back into it. The first strategy, okay? You got to remove the hidden sales trauma, whatever, marketing trauma, sales trauma. You hired somebody and now you're afraid to hire. You spend some money and now you're afraid. Oh, Tim DeHart, we'll let you know because we're going to be in Nashville full day, free, pay lunch in a cool building. 35 people will be a blast in May. So if you want info on that, I'm going to give you a link. You guys will reach out, talk to my team. They'll help you. Those of you that want SOP will help you out with that tonight. And look at SOP. If you think it sucks at the end, reach out to me. I'll give you the fucking $499 back. The last thing I want is anybody to be frustrated with me after 2 decades of creating multi-millionaires. All right, I got to give you number 2 here, okay? Number 2, you have to nail your sales cycle, everybody. You have to make it mandatory. If you don't know the sales cycle, now there's 2 sales cycles. There's your sales cycle, and then there's the client's. Sorry, I took my tablet. I can't draw for you tonight on there, but I'll draw on this pad because I was setting up my tablet for stuff tomorrow. But if you look at sales cycles, and let's see if you could see this. Okay. If you look at sales cycles, it's like that. It's two overlapping circles. It's your company sales cycle and it's the client's sales cycle. It's the client's sales cycle. And you have to understand the psychology on how they interlink. And if you don't have that, I promise you, you're losing 25% a year. Easily, you're losing 25%. And that might be happening on however they reach out to you. It could be the first connection. It could be the after you speak to them about your insurance service or your plumbing or whatever. It doesn't matter to me, dog training service. Or it happens after the transaction. You're losing. And some of you, I bet you might even be losing more. If you were to say, just on what you're hearing from me now, what percentage of money do you know you're leaving on the table? Type it in the chat bar. Is it 20%, 30%? First off, if you've never had a pro look at it, a real expert look at every part of it, I guarantee it's 25% plus. I guarantee it. Because you only know the skills you have. So if it's not me or us at Food Dog, well, shit, invest in someone who's a pro at it. If you come to Sales Power next week, spend 3 days with me in person, shit, even if you invested and made it to day one, your life's going to change. But if you make it to all 3 days, your whole company and your abundance will change forever. Okay. So number two, you have to understand the sales cycle. All right. Number three, everybody is surprised because they say to me, it's not working. And I always ask the same question. There's two parts to sales not working. And if you just write these two things down, I guarantee it's worth a lot of money to you. One, I say, well, what is the A/B testing you're doing? You mean you answer the phones the same way and you never test another way to see if it makes it better or worse? As owners and leaders, you should be a master at A/B testing. That means if you call your marketing pay-per-click company or whatever, billboard company, magazine, you should say to them, what are you A/B testing? And then they go, what you mean? You should just go, the old Trump, you're fired. You should just fire him, right? So with sales, you got to be A/B testing. Here's the offer this week. This is the offer next week. Which one's working? Your marketing, if you're doing direct mail, you should be A/B testing. We do everything on a scientific approach. Now, remember, we also have a portfolio of companies. So not only do we do to help you, but we have our own target of companies we help scale to exit, because most people just, without the right support and knowledge, the chances of them exiting wealthy is pretty slim. So we help a lot of companies. The first thing we do is, what can we test? Number two, in the selling part, is surveying. And if you haven't mastered the art of surveying before, during, and after, you're losing. Now we're probably up to 35%. 35%. Okay? So you have to A/B testing in sales, and you have to survey, because the customer will tell you exactly what to fix. So let me pause there a minute, because I know we're pushing up on 60 minutes, but would it be okay if I just went a little bit longer? Can you guys type in longer if is it okay for you guys? I mean, my wife and I are trying to finish up Longmire series, which I really have enjoyed. We're on the final season of Longmire, but if you're willing to stay a little longer, I'm willing to stay with you guys. So we're going to A/B test, okay? And we're going to survey. Look at your notes real quick and give me an action item you already need to put in place. Give me an action item. Give me an action item. Is it you're going to examine the two sales cycle, your cycle, and the customer sales cycle? Are you going to A/B test? Are you going to survey? What are you going to do here? Are you going to look at your culture? Are you going to fix your damn sales trauma? Those of you coming to sales power, I'm not going to give you just skills. As long as you're willing, I'm going to show you how to go in your mind, rewire it, and come out with a superpower mind, unlike you felt in probably your entire life. You're going to put a program in there that knows nothing else but abundance, scaling, and winning. And any of you that come to it, whatever that shit you got, all this, and I'm not saying it's not real, and don't give me the middle finger, but all this ADHD and anxiety and all these things you've created inside your mind, if you're good, we'll remove that shit over here when we do sales power next week. If you're okay with that, we'll do it. We'll just pull it out of your system. We'll put a brand new program in, the same stuff I had to do for myself. Okay. Jason Birdsong knows, right? Jason, what's the power of that? You know. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Let me give you a couple more here. So the next one is most companies are losing about 20 to 40% because they don't understand pricing psychology. Pricing psychology. Now, I tested all that shit like 1,997 versus 2,000. And look, people have what's called wallet share. And I want you to write it down, wallet share. And if they open up their wallet, there's a certain amount of money in there. And inside the wallet share, they have an intentional amount for repairs or services or insurance or programs. And they want to make sure that when they take something out of their wallet share, it's either going to give them more comfort, right? Or it's also going to remove pain. And if it's going to give them more comfort, they'll invest in it. Just like I already know, how many of you are already registered for SOP Power online? Just write SOP. You already know the reason why you're going to give the day is because it's going to give you way more comfort. And those of you not registered yet, I'm going to tell you how to register. So stay here and you'll get the special as long as you do it in the next couple of days. And you only attending SOP Power because one, it doesn't matter that you read the E-Myth. Who cares about all your shit you read? Oh, Mike, I do EOS system and I do E-Myth and I've done Blue Ocean strategy. And I go, yeah, but you're still under 5 million and you're telling me you're broke. I don't care about the books you read. That's the only people giving you badges for the shit you read is the people on Facebook. Is that fair? Can you just type in fair in the chat bar? I don't have an EOS badge for you. I don't have a Service Titan badge for you. You know what I got a badge of? A badge of giving you, you're making way more profit than ever. Your bank account's growing. Your portfolio's growing. And you're not driven by a million shiny objects distracting the shit out of you. That's the badge I want to give you. And the badge of you and your wife are closer. You and your kids are closer. Your age is reversing and you love your damn company until you no longer want to love it. And it either you hand it down to someone that will love it, like family, to create a legacy business, or you sell it because you want someone else to run it different. That's the badge I love to give to people. And the way that you get that is you have to understand there is a psychology of pricing and there is a wallet share. And if you don't understand that they're investing in comfort or removing a pain, and the only thing that stands in that wallet share is your process, right? Is your process. And do they believe in you and your process? I mean, I guarantee, watch this survey. Watch how real this becomes. How many of you have had customers buy what you sell and they paid you more than someone else that offered them the same thing? Tell me in the chat bar. I know you guys did, of course, right? It happened to me all the time. And then my friends would call me up. You got that job over there? What the? They always say it like I was less. I mean, 165 trucks on the road, 32 million a year. Did you really think my price is lower? I'm like, it was 15,000. Why? What did you? He goes, I was 10,000. Why didn't they go with me? I said, because they didn't trust you. They didn't trust you. They didn't trust how you showed up. They didn't trust the professionalism. They didn't trust the cycle. Your sales cycle was to sell. My sales cycle was to change their life forever. And that's a big difference. Do you see the difference? Type in difference in the chat bar. My cycle was to improve their life forever. That was the most important task. A byproduct of changing lives is people give you money. That's why you're here. If you're here and you feel we have value and will change your life, you'll invest in the trainings we have. And if you're not in enough pain or you don't think we have value, you won't invest. But no matter what, I want you to leave tonight with value. That's the most important thing. Because if I give you value and you just think a little bit different or you take action on one thing, then we're changing the human race. And that's why I'm here tonight with you at 8 p.m. at night. Not because I have to, because I want to, because someone's got to care about you guys. There's lots of people that care only about your wallet. Is that true? Type in true if that's true. There's a lot of people that only care about your wallet. They tell you all these stories and these things, the 500-pound gorilla and PE firms. Look, PE firms, if you don't know, private equity firms are not bad. They're not. They made me very, very wealthy. They're bad because they do some things people don't understand. Okay, and you should write that down. People don't understand it. All right, I'm going to give you two more here. All right, the silent killers in your sales team, right? It's the invisible behaviors that are killing your closing rate. What are the invisible behaviors? Well, I want you to think, and let's be an honest rating here. Just step aside outside your company and look from the sky down. And I want you to look at your team, your whole team. And I want you to rate your team at a level 10 master communicators. When they talk, people feel impacted. They feel changed. They feel shifted. They get such a sense of trust. They just go, here's the credit card. Call me when you're done. And one being, well, they talk the way they always talk the last 40 years of their life or 30 years. Let's do 10, master communicator, 1, and be honest. Where are you? Yeah, and guess what? A 7 is a C. And if you came home with a C, some of you, and I'm not a big believer on that type of grading system in school, but a C probably got you yelled at by your dad or mom. They said, what the hell's wrong with you? You got a C? You're like, well, at least I didn't get a D. That normally got your ass, depending on what generation, you either got smacked in the face or shoved in your room, right? If you're below that, if you're a 4, well, guess what? You're losing so much, not only forget about the money, you're losing part of your life, which is financial peace. Now, remember, I don't want you to rate you because, well, first, I don't have enough time to call all your companies, even though I do enjoy it sometimes, because every time someone tells me they're amazing, I call and get their call center at night and I go, what the hell just happened here? And then they tell me, oh, well, that's a rare occasion. Lisa's not in this week. And I go, okay, I'm sure Lisa's incredible. And then I call Lisa and say, Lisa, you know what? Let me think about it. And Lisa goes, oh, well, call us when you're ready. And I go, well, now isn't that a shit ass process if I ever seen one? Like, how certain are you that you could save their life? Because if you were certain you're going to change their life forever, you wouldn't just say goodbye. And this happens all the time, multiple times a year. People tell me, no, they challenge me. Mike, call my company. So if any of you just really are compelled, I'm not going to do it here. Send me a private Facebook message and go, challenge accepted, Mike. Call my company. But just know, I'm not going to call at the perfect time when everybody ate their Danish and bagel and drank their Starbucks Mocha Loca. I'm going to call at the time where I know you're bleeding. And I hope that I am right. And if you are amazing, I'm sending you a gold star. I will. I'll find a little gold star sticker. But if it's not amazing, I'm going to let you know that too, because I care that much about you that I just don't want you, because your life, right? You want your life to move forward. How many of you want to forget about vacationing? You want to live a vacation style life. Just get up, go where you want, whenever you want. Type it in the chat bar. Type in vacation style life, right? Yeah, you probably do. You just want to experience as much as you can. Well, if you figure out the sales problem, you'll start experiencing things. All right, last one I want to give you here. And it's this one. A lot of people's managers right? A lot of people's managers are not skilled and not leading. They're not leading. They're not training, coaching, or managing. They're information delivering. You didn't sell. You got, did you ever tell me if this is helpful? You must do better. Tell me in the chat bar, is that helpful? Did you ever tell somebody you got to raise your conversion? Well, if the dude knew how to do better, they would be doing better. You telling them to do better doesn't make them better, but you managers don't have the skill set. Why? Because you haven't trained your managers on human behavior. You've only trained them on some kind of widget or script that you learned from, I'm guessing, my own story, it's probably false. You learned it from some other company, right? And what made me break all boundaries was, you know what? I learned it from Jay Abraham. Do you know who Jay is? Type in Jay. If you don't, he's the highest paid consultant on planet Earth, okay? And I trained 3.5 years with him one-on-one, which most of you, if you heard how much that cost, there ain't probably a time in most of your lives you'd be brave enough to do that, because you pull out your credit card and it just, the shit just melts, okay? That's what happens when you pay for education. Your credit card melts. But he told me the secret of all secret sauces, and I'm going to give it to you tonight, and I hope it becomes your secret sauce, not only in selling, in scaling and winning this life, business, and wealth by design. He said to me, Mike, the superpower is not taking things you're getting from other industries. He goes, everybody's doing the same thing. He goes, so you might win a little bit, but the chances if you're doing the same thing as the next bigger company, you'll probably never outbeat them. He said the winning strategy is do from other industries in your industry. You should type in boom right now, because this changed my life forever. He said, take the strategies from Disney and Zappos and Amazon. He said, go to the biggest companies in the world and ask yourself, what's the strategy they do that no one else is doing? So when people looked, you couldn't look. I was in an organization 1.5 decades ago, and I outgrew every one of the founding fathers of the organization, and no one could figure out how the hell did these. Oh, I had a picture. I'll show you here. I showed it to Jason today. Jen, look at this picture. This is young. Now I'm going to show you. I don't even know what age I am here. My team at our Christmas party, our culture was so motivated. They gave us a gift and they said, we no longer want to drive the trucks we're driving. They said, we want to drive these. And they were yelling and chanting at the Christmas party. I don't know, maybe we had 80 employees or 100 then, I can't remember. I look way different, a little bit younger. But if you look at this here, there I am there, right? Holding, they wrapped tractor trailers for us. This is my partner, Rob. This is Adam. I ended up buying Adam out many, many years ago. And they wrapped these and they said, these are the trucks we want to drive through New Jersey. So every human moves out of the way. There can only be one, just like Highlander, right? And I'm sure I was wearing some kind of this, I don't know what the hell that shirt is, but we'll just call that like New Jersey Italian shirt or something. So when you look at this, this strategy of this leader, your leaders, right? They need to understand training, coaching, and managing, and you need to understand, take things from other industries in. And that's why I'm not a best practice organization no more. I sold that. Now I'm a life, business, and wealth by design is what Food Dog Groups were. I call us the secret ingredient or the secret weapon out there, because we have strategies. We take a strategy from a cybersecurity company or an AI company, or we take it from a nutrition company and we say, what's the strategy here that we could put in, not just in your companies. Remember, we got a portfolio company and our goal is to grow our portfolio company by 2030. I'd like to hit 500 million in that portfolio. So we're not teaching you shit, everybody, and I'm going to finish this up. I'm not teaching you stuff we did 50 years ago. You're learning right now what we're doing in our companies, in our portfolio companies, and we just did it last week. That's what we're teaching you, okay? That's what we're teaching you. So here's what I have for you guys, my last little closing message besides I hope you had a good time. And did you learn a little bit? Type in boom in the chat bar if you learned a little bit. I just want to let you know from me and the whole Food Dog team here, thank you for staying longer with us. We're honored to serve you. We love you. We're rooting for you. And if we can help you, just hit the team at. Otherwise, boom. Have a great night, everybody.